spheres had drifted in the abyss of interstellar void for untold eons, their icy shells cloaking the mysteries within. When Earth's deep space arrays first picked up the transmissions, they were simple pulses, rhythmic, patient, welcoming. Anyone who wishes may enter. We do not know what lies within. We do not remember. The abandoned sphere remained silent, its frosted surface reflecting nothing but the dim glow of distant stars. But the second sphere, the one still humming with enigmatic energy, extended an open invitation. The first wave of explorers, microscopic in comparison to the colossal structure, descended through a rupture in the ice. At first, they mistook the surface for a barren, frozen wasteland, but as their senses adjusted, they realized this was not desolation. It was scale. The surface was a world beyond human proportions, where what seemed like vast, featureless plains were actually the striations of enormous, organic-like formations. Structures resembling molecules the size of mountain ranges loomed in the distance, held together by unseen forces. The explorers, each barely the size of an atom in this strange environment, found themselves navigating a realm where gravity whispered rather than commanded, where time itself seemed to stretch and contract. But the real mystery lay inside. Penetrating the icy crust, the explorers entered the sphere's interior, expecting a mechanical or artificial core. Instead, they found an inverse sky, an endless horizon curving upward into itself. The walls of the sphere did not enclose them. It was the world stretching infinitely, a self-contained universe of impossible geometries. Here, light bent unpredictably, forming floating rivers of luminescent liquid that pulsed with unreadable data. Towering, lattice-like structures shimmered between solidity and mist, as if oscillating between states of existence. And then came the entities. They were not living in any conventional sense, nor mechanical. They existed as resonances, shifting between form and formlessness. Their presence felt more than seen. They sang, not with sound, but with gravity, with electromagnetic pulses that rippled through the environment. The transmissions had been theirs. We remember now, this was not always a vessel, this was not always empty, it was a mind, and you are inside its memory. The explorers pieced together fragments of the past. The spheres were never simple Dyson constructs. They were something more profound. They were once living architectures, civilizations encoded not in cities but in the very lattice of reality within them. They had not been abandoned. They had been left to dream. But why had one fallen silent while the other still whispered across the void? The more they explored, the more the interior of the second sphere seemed to awaken, not as a place, but as an intelligence, recognizing that it was being perceived. The explorers realized too late that they were not merely observers. They were part of the process. A choice lay before them: remain and let the sphere reshape them into something beyond human, into thought, into resonance, into whatever had once inhabited these constructs, or flee carrying only fragmented knowledge, never knowing what truly lay at the heart of the abandoned sphere. Outside, the silent sphere waited, and in the depths of its frozen core something stirred. The explorers stood before the lift, an impossibly ancient construct of obsidian and pulsating filaments, as if built from the veins of a forgotten cosmos. It descended without sound, without force, as though gravity itself had inverted within its mechanism. They stepped inside, and the universe around them tilted. Downward became upward. The surface world dissolved, its molecular landscapes vanishing into darkness, and then light. They emerged into an impossible sky. The entire inner surface of the sphere was alive, but not with forests or oceans. Instead, it was filled with eyes, millions, billions, some the size of mountains, others as small as dust motes. They blinked in eerie synchrony, floating within an oxygen-rich atmosphere. Some were fused into the rocky terrain, embedded like ancient fossils, still watching. Others drifted freely, shifting, observing, remembering. The air was thick, breathable, yet charged with an unfamiliar energy, as if every inhalation carried whispers from long-dead civilizations. And in the center, not a star, but something else.